What's up, my fellow geeks, and welcome to episode 1 of Kyle Recommends Comics. I've been comic book collecting for a couple years now, and my favorite part of collecting comic books is coming across those hidden gems. Those comic books that maybe you picked up for $1 out of a bin at a garage sale, or you picked up because the cover looked intriguing, and once you get home and pop it open, you're pleasantly surprised with just how great it is, either the humor or the artwork or the storyline. So this series, I'm going to recommend some of my personal favorites. I'm not going to recommend any big name comics, so no Spider-Man, no Superman, no Spawn, maybe a little bit of Marvel, maybe DC, but no big name comics, just the diamonds in the rough. Recommendation number 1, Bad Meat. This is by B-Fi Comics. This is issue number 3. I would love to get my hands on issue 1 and 2. I'm not sure if there's more. Big warning on this comic book though, this is for adults only, not for children's eyes. Think Mad or Cracked magazine, but on steroids. This is very deviant, very dark, very juvenile. Lots of stuff in here about sex and drugs. If you can handle that kind of thing, I highly recommend you go pick it up. I love it. Recommendation number 2, Mystic by CrossGen Comics. This ran for 43 issues from the year 2000 to 2004. This here is issue number 1. This comic is about a young woman who is thrust into a world of mystery and magic. I recommend you pick this up if you're into a strong female lead. I feel like there's too few of them around. They're usually easy on the eyes and lend themselves to a unique storyline since it's headed by a female and not a male superhero. Recommendation number 3, Rasputin by Image Comics. I believe this was a 10-issue miniseries, but I could be wrong on that. This comic book is extremely graphic with very minimal text. It's very thought-provoking, not a whole lot of reading. This is a retelling of the holy man from Russia known as Rasputin. I don't know a whole lot about him. All I know is if you look up images on Google, he is probably the creepiest man who ever existed. For my 4th recommendation, I'm going to bend my rule just a little bit of not recommending big-name comic books, just because I feel not many people have heard about this comic book. Next. This is a new group of Avengers that was brought together in 1998. This is issue number 1. And as you can see from the cover, these are all secondary characters that were brought together. So we've got Jubilee, Thunderstrike, Speedball, Stinger, J2, who is the son of Juggernaut, and my favorite, Mainframe. You can see him on the cover there. He is a robot with AI that is modeled after the neural network of Tony Stark. Enough said. For my 5th and final recommendation, this is the most fun I've ever had reading a comic book, Shirtless Bear Fighter. This is a 5-issue miniseries that was printed by Image Comics. This is issue number 1. I have it out of the protective sleeve because I want to show you a few pictures from the comic book. This is about a man who was raised by bears and then betrayed by those people who raised him, so he wanders the forest just trying to live his life. At one point, he's contacted by, I think, the FBI or the government to fight some supervillains, but the only way he can pay him is with flapjacks, because that's what he loves. And that's kind of the humor that's in this book. You're going to see lots of bare butts, lots of pixelated body parts, as you can see there. Another one of my favorite images from the comic book. If you're going to read just one of the 5 comics that I recommended, I highly recommend you grab this one. It's nothing but fun. Keep your eyes open for those issues at comic book shops, flea markets, comic expos, anywhere you buy comics. I'd love to hear your recommendations for comic books to read in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, be yourself, stay young, keep it geeky, and thanks for watching.